I know we got to talk already, but I have a few questions in here from that. I got to switch some things up to make this actually a little bit more better and more personable. So, what are your favorite type of voices to voice?
Or like typecasts, like
Yeah, like
characters.
if it was like a robot or an animal or just a regular
Oh, okay,
person.
yeah. I love voicing little things that don't make any sense, like anything like something in gibberish or like um just like a little goblin creature guy. That I love playing the just like hard ass like tomboy characters. They're super fun. And then I guess I've been cast as villains a lot, so that's always fun. So yeah, I think and crazy characters, insane characters, ones that get to do like maniacal laughing and stuff like that. So that's probably my top.
You're usually the villain.
Um, I think I have I have been the antagonist, but she seems more like of a villain. It was in a game called Kiss Off, and I played a character named Risk. She was just
Ooh.
really really mean. She wasn't really an antagonist, but she was like, "I'll kiss the rings. I'll step on you," or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay. So she's not the villain, but Michael Kovac actually did play the villain in the game.
Oh, that was the other game. Okay, that was the other project you guys were on. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's super cool. Risk. I like that name a lot. The characters you play
Yes,
have really unique names.
they do. Yeah. Well, her full name is Risk Diakanta II, but
Whoa. Wow, I
I
feel
know she's
like.
like, I'm the leader of a planet. You're gonna kneel to me, and if I don't like you, then Almighty Universe or whatever she says.
Yeah, geez, I feel like I can't be in her presence. That's like so fancy.
She's great. She's great.
I love that. Did you know what was going to happen with Sin all along, or were you surprised with the script?
I was surprised with the script. I was, but at the same time, like I kind of knew that she wasn't good because I think the first time I was talking to them about like, oh, they were like, congrats, you got the role for Solver, and I was like, thank you, and they were like, you're now the main villain, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's the role, okay, cool. So like I
Okay.
didn't, really know what I was getting into, but then as the series progresses, I feel like she gets more and more kind of, she shows more of her true self, I guess, or well, the Solver at least, because
Yeah.
we don't. I guess we don't really know what Sin was like.
Yeah.
But
Actually, that brings up like something we talked about like last time about how it's not Sin's voice. It's actually a bunch of children. Wait, if I'm correct, it's a bunch of children, like different children's voices, like mashed together with like AI. Something.
not exactly. So Sin, when she was dismantled, her voice was like damaged. So
Right.
she doesn't technically have a voice. And so when the Solver, came to possess her and stuff, she kind of made this voice that was based off text to speech, and she didn't want it to sound too human because she was like, ew, humans. So she's literally just picked up a a voice. She made like a text to speech kind of AI voice, but they didn't want to use actual AI, so
Which good for
um,
them.
which is good, which is good. Yeah, and then so it's Sin doesn't really have a voice. It's the Solver taking her over, and it's
So this is
yeah.
super deep, but like, how does that make you feel voicing a character that it's not their voice? Like, you know, it
Well,
is her. It is
yeah,
her voice. That you know what I mean by that? Like, it is her
it
voice.
is, but it's not. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, well, needless to say, I was a little bit heartbroken
yeah.
because I was like, oh, Sin, she's like a little goober, little guy, and like she's cute and she's a little like, but uh, I'm not actually voicing her. I'm voicing the creepy being evil AI program that is the Solver that is taking her over. So, um, technically I'm voicing her against her own will, so it's like it's sad to think about, but like if we ignore all that, then it's
It's like,
yeah,
okay,
fine.
man.
I didn't know that her voice was destroyed when she was destroyed, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, like you said, like most of the stuff was a surprise to you. So I mean, it must
it makes me
be.
hate my voice in the show. Like, not like, I don't know. It makes me kind of like, damn, I had to be the voice of like I love voicing, you know, the solver and stuff like that. But like at the same time, you're like, damn, plot wise, I hate this. I hate this person. Like, yeah, it's like,
Yeah, it's super bittersweet. It must be because like you must be a fan of the show from how I've seen you talk about it and everything. It looks like you're just as much as a fan as much as the cast, you know, and like being a part of the cast, I should say. It looks like you're a great like team player, and honestly, that must be like so weird to be like, okay, yeah, Sin's the villain, but like it's not like to the, and then it's like you find out even more and more and more, and it's like, whoa, because the Murder Drones is just a super deep story, and Sin is like, you know, the basis of all of it. So it's
basically.
so it's pretty big, like.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. I mean, but if we're just going like, oh, Sin, I guess that's why in the credits it says Sin/Solver, because I'm not sure. They technically count as two different characters, but if I'm Sin, I don't know. If I'm Sin, it's fine, and I'm like, oh, yippee, haha, happy, and then, you know, Solver. But it is, yeah.
That is true, yeah. If you listen to the voice, it is different, and you do a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. How do you warm up your voice in order to prepare for either an audition or a role you've already gotten? However, how do you warm it up?
I usually just start singing around the house, or not like, you know, just like humming, or just, you know, like, you know, melodies and stuff like that. And then when I before I get into the booth, there was something I was taught in high school by my high school drama teacher, going through the alphabet and saying it like, I'll give you an example. It's hard to explain. It's like and then ba 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 ba, doing that through the entire alphabet until you're finished. So it's a bit time consuming, but it really helps you, you know, with the enunciation and stuff like that, and it's good for controlling, you know, the voice in a way, kind of like staccato.
That makes sense because I started the singing thing and I noticed the I started that like, I don't know, a few months ago. I learned that was a good trick, and it does different parts of your vocal cords that you don't even use when you're like doing on an audition, and that's pretty good. And then what you're telling me makes like a lot of sense because it's the same thing but in a different way, like kind of like actually more. It sounds more useful.
I just do different kind of things just to cover all of my bases, just to make sure, you know, I warm up, or like a trick for like if I'm having trouble like enunciating things, I'd actually put like a pencil in my mouth, and you'd really over enunciate the mouth to get your mouth muscles working, and then when you take the pencil out, you're like, oh, now I sound like I can narrate a whole goddamn audiobook without and making any mistakes.
Wait, that's a really good trick. So like you just put like a pencil just in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then
just like that. And then
I don't have one.
I don't have a pencil on me.
Yeah, I don't have one either, but okay, just like a pencil in your mouth, and just like talk.
And then you say the lines that you're struggling with that, and then you really over enunciate like a crap ton. Like if I was saying, oh yeah, over the earth or something like that, with the pencil in my mouth, and when you take it out, you're going, oh yeah, I'm way back. Yeah.
Wow, that's a really good trick. Okay.
That's just for something that it helps me also because I don't know, my facial muscles are a bit weird, or like
I feel like mine are too.
The way I speak is it's a bit different. Like I used to be really good at talking when I was a kid, and then somehow when I grew up I kind of lost it, and now I'm kind of teaching myself again, and voice acting is kind of like really helpful with that. But when I'm off the clock, I'm like, you know, mumbling and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that's like how I normally talk. But if I'm really have to really animate my face to make it make sense what I'm saying. So
Yeah, I feel like sometimes they just like do a thing of their own, and it's just like what's happening because a word doesn't. You can't smile when you're trying to be sad or like I don't know. I feel like mine have a mind of their own sometimes.
I get you. I get that.
So how long have you been voice acting for?
Voice acting, I think about since 2015, I think. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. It's about 10 years.
10 years.
Almost 10 years.
Do you remember your first gig?
I think it was like a really, really, like, I remember the first audition I got, which was like a Pikachu Pokemon fan-made thing, so the only thing I did was just say Pikachu, and they were like, you got the role, and then they never did anything with the project, because that was just how it was back then. So I had like 80 roles that I was cast for, but never did any of the projects.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, especially, and that was all on Behind the Voice Actors, so when they had the auditioning section, which they don't anymore, but that was like my beginning, what I was using at the very beginning. But I think my first paid gig, I think, was a game called Pop-Up Dungeon in 2018 I recorded for, because I went viral on YouTube for doing an impression of Widowmaker from Overwatch.
Oh, okay.
That kind of kickstarted my whole online presence, so I feel like if it wasn't for that, I feel like I also wouldn't be as big of a voice actor as I am. Not saying I wouldn't have as many opportunities as I had, and I don't know,
No, but you think that was like, I get what you're saying. You think that was the thing that got people to hear your voice because it came across their channel or something. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. That's amazing. That's actually really amazing.
It was just this YouTube channel was like, oh hey, we're looking for voice actors or wannabe voice actors who can sound like characters from Overwatch, and we will play with you and stuff, and we'll put it on my channel and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, yeah. So I had like a group of friends, like, we all met and we're on the thing. Like, my friends was McCree, we had Diva and stuff like that, and I ended up doing Mercy and Widowmaker, but Widowmaker was the most popular because they're like, oh yeah, sexy French lady. But I was, so I started doing that when I was 16, and then more jobs came, and I guess my online presence, I think the video got, I think almost 5 million views now, so I'm
wow.
But that's where most of people know me from, and then having this new influx of people coming in know me as Sin, like from Sin and Murder Drones and stuff like that.
Wow, that's actually, I gotta look, I don't know how I didn't come across, because I was doing like research and stuff, so I don't know how I didn't come across a Widowmaker thing.
Okay, I try to like hide it, like,
you're like, it doesn't exist.
Yeah. But
I love that. That's so funny. Okay, so I know, like, because I've seen you react on your channel to your voices before and stuff, and it's so interesting because you were really good then too, but like hearing you do the differences is actually like insane, because it's like, oh wow, like I see exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah,
but
so after hearing yourself do stuff back then, and then knowing how you can change it now, really kind of gives you the oh yeah, like I know what I could change now to make this better, or or just, I think you gradually, just if you stick with something for long enough, like acting, and stuff like that, you can, something old that you do, you'd be like, ew, I'm gonna like pick that apart, and like it's cringe, I don't like it, it's like my method and everything was bad, and then you naturally just get better, progressively with training a lot. So yeah, that was.
I was gonna ask you though, even though it is like, which understandable, even though it is like kind of like hard to listen to, and like you can like critique so much because you have learned so much. Are there some that you're genuinely like, yeah, I don't love this, but like I'm proud of it, or are you just like, this is all cringe?
There's some stuff that I'm pretty proud of that I recorded like a couple years ago. That I'm like, that's good. Still, I'd change it like a little bit, but I'm fine just to leave it. That's fine. Like I did the best I could when I was, recording it then, and all you gotta keep looking forward, and that's just a piece of history of your piece of evidence of your journey.
That's actually a really good way to look at it. I like that. It's a piece of your story. Yeah.
Yeah, so I like kind of like, I guess the internet's kind of been like my journal in a way of like watching me grow and progress as an actor as well, because you can tell like like I think the first, well, with that video, the comparison from back then to a couple of years ago, it's yeah, so that's a bit of a log, and then now with all this other stuff it's a bit of a log, and then I guess it'll keep going until I either perish or stop voice acting, but I don't think that's gonna happen because I love this job too much. It is my life. I love it.
Yeah, no, you're too good. You can't quit now. No. Who would you consider your voice actor role models if you had to choose? Putting you on the spot.
No, okay. Well, if you had asked me when I first started voice acting, I would have said like a lot of more like popular mainstream voice actors, like Tara Strong, Bryce Pembroke, Jeremy Lee, stuff like that. They're all incredible. They're still great. Skill wise, except for Tara Strong said some stuff.
The whole thing.
But yeah, yeah.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, no, it's if you had to ask me now, yeah, I'd say people that are in my close proximity, or people that I've worked with multiple times or stuff, or like there's this amazing actress named Amy Smith. She's actually based in Sydney as well, and I think her and I have known each other for years, and I've seen her as a mentor, and she's always been really great. She's really been helpful to like everyone. She's like the mum of the Australian voiceover group.
I love that.
Yeah, she's always super helpful and helps people like, oh, this is I do this, and this is how I find work or whatnot and stuff like that. She's incredible. I met up with her and a couple of other voice actors, including Caitlin Dizon, who plays Lizzie.
And you guys did that incredible photo.
The photo, I was like, yeah. We had to do something while we were, yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. Amy Smith. After working with, I've actually worked with Michael Kovac, Elsie Lovelock, and Nola Klopp a fair amount as well. Even before we started working on the show, there's a lot of people that I've worked with before I started working on the show, but after working on the show with them, we kind of, get closer because, I don't know, we're on the same thing, and we get, it doesn't always happen, but these guys are so easy to talk to. They're great. They know exactly what's going on, and they're really professional, and they're really, really great actors.
And honestly, that must be really nice because, like, you worked yourself up in this, and that's amazing. That's something, like, that's honestly amazing. And I'm sure you dealt with unprofessional people. So it must be, like, really, yeah. So it must be, like, really amazing to be, like, in an environment where it's, like, professionals who love it, and, like, it just, like, Glitch alone is just like a very, very much like you can tell that they love like animation and like want to like give the ideas and everything about like everything that like Murder Drones is a part of the cast, the production, everything is like Liam, like everything is just very much like it's very passionate, and like it's
very, very passion driven. And I think that what Glitch is trying to do is show that independent story writers and creators and everything like that can bring just as good quality stuff as like mainstream people, or sometimes in this case possibly even better.
Oh yeah.
But that's yeah. So now higher up guys are like, oh wow, they made this really high quality stuff. Oh, they're making it a standard. Well, why are they doing that? Like, we can make good stuff if but they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Glitch, I feel like they're definitely doing it for the passion of wanting to bring stories to life and have these incredible ideas and actually, like, have the experience and putting the effort of actually making something incredible. I don't know, it's such a cool thing. Like, they're doing it because of passion
Yeah.
and, wanting to do this stuff. It's like, it's not for the money, it's not for the, to tell other people to shut up and look what I can do better. It's like, it's just, they've just, I don't know. They've just been great with it.
No, it's absolutely like incredible, and it's really cool too because they pick passionate people, which I love that too. Everything about it is just very authentic. And that's like very rare to find nowadays, and it's very like cool to find a channel specifically because like I mean I guess you would consider it like a TV channel in a sense, right? And like a TV channel wouldn't be like unique like this. So this is very like cool to find like a whole channel of just like passionate people working hard on like really cool, unique, out of the box, but like in the best way possible things.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah, it was weird because I think I'd kind of heard of Glitch before I started working with them. Um, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I kind of knew they existed, but then they were like, oh, you want to try out for this show called Murder Drones? I was like, yeah, sure. And then I got it immediately. So the first audition I did with them, I was like, oh, okay, great.
Oh,
Cool. I don't
amazing.
know where this is going to go, and I didn't know it was going to quite literally change my career and my life, so that was
That
that was pretty cool.
because
Yeah,
like
so
yeah, because Glitch was like really small before Murder Drones. Murder Drones is what made it like kick off, wasn't it? If I remember correctly. Like
I
not
believe
saying it
so.
didn't have viewers, but like Murder
Yeah,
Drones like
I know. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I know a lot of the other stuff was very popular as well, but I think Murder Drones was one of the things that kind of broke the kind of threshold, and people kind of went, oh wow, okay, yeah, because the kind of the quality of the animation and everything keeps going up and up and up every episode, and
yeah.
it's like, wow, yeah.
Do you ever get to see like little pictures or little videos or animatics of like what's gonna be happening in this scene, or is everything a surprise? Like literally, you don't get any sneak peeks. You just get to see what we get to
Mm,
see.
most of the time it's a surprise, but sometimes if I really go, boop boop, you got anything? Can you show me? Haha, it's like anything. Oh, I'm starving for some content over here, but I don't know. Like, some very very rarely. Sometimes I'll see something, but
Ooh, that's cool.
but when it comes to the full release of the episodes and stuff like that, we're completely in the dark. So we haven't seen any of the. So we're the first to. We haven't seen any of the full episodes, so we're watching it with you guys. So yeah, we're on the same page. But
Wow.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Wow. For some episodes, especially like the episode 7, that was the last one. Yeah, that must have been like one that you were sitting on the edge of your seat, being like, okay, like.
Kind of, yeah. I think I don't remember if I pried too much on that one because I think when we recorded for it, it was like, oh geez, I don't even remember when I think we yeah, no, you kind of just record and then kind of forget what you've recorded. So I completely forgotten what happens until I watch the episode and I go, oh yeah, okay. I was like, oh, like I think I remember this happening, but and then seeing it, and you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, most of the time I kind of forget because it
Yeah.
was recorded so long ago and the episodes take so long to produce. But it's good because the amount of quality that they put into it shows that it's really good.
it's definitely worth the wait. When they say like, oh, it's gonna be like an extra month because of the fight scene, but it's worth it, they're not lying.
No, they're not lying.
Is there ever a time where like you voiced something at your house and someone was home and like whether or not it was a friend, whatever the case it may be, and they were like, is everything okay? Like, is there a problem? Like, was there ever like a?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, within like the first year or something that I started doing it. I mean, that was just because I was literally in a back room with like a MacBook and a shitty little microphone, which was a Samsung Media. Back then, yeah, sure. But now people just like, oh, yes, okay, she's just doing a job,
Yeah.
They're just going crazy. Like, if anyone, like at this point, if anyone screams in the house, it's just like normal. Because we're all insane, and especially I'm embracing it, and it is, I don't know.
It's a beautiful thing.
And even though my neighbors, I'm like, I'm so sorry if you guys can hear me sometimes. And no joke, my neighbor said, oh, it's always a pleasure to hear you screaming, Allanah. And I went, oh, thanks.
I think that is like the best compliment.
It was like, yeah, I was like, okay, thanks. So,
or maybe murderous. I'm not sure. But at the same time, I like it.
I don't know. I was like, okay, cool. So, yeah, that's my job. But you guys, yeah, I just don't want to be too disruptive, but at the same time, I don't think this sound goes very far, but at the same time it does, because sometimes I think from here you can hear me from outside my house, depending on how loud I am, but I don't know, walls are thin here.
That's some good lungs.
I tried it.
How do you find inspirations for voices you audition for? So if it's a brand new character to you, how do you find the inspiration to pick a voice that you want to try for them?
Usually, most of the time, in audition documents, characters will have something called a mood board or a voice mood board. So they'll be like, oh, okay, we want the character to sound like this character from this show mixed with this character from this show. So, for example, in Solver's audition document, they wanted the mood boards. They wanted her to sound like Hatsune Miku, HAL 9000, and GLaDOS. So I was like, okay, I know these characters. I'm gonna try and mesh them all together and make them into my own thing. So that's, and then that kind of. You have the haha kind of, you have the voice, but yeah, that's what happens with most stuff. But sometimes when people or clients don't have an idea for a voice in mind, I usually ask for an image, because an image can really help with the way that you to depict a voice for a certain character. So visuals really help.
Yeah.
Especially like, oh, their size, or what colors their hair. Like, surprisingly, like you look at the color palette or something like that, or the kind of character, what you can pick out from the image. It depends. Or sometimes they'll just be like, oh yeah, this dude might be really huge, but we want a tiny little voice. So it's like, okay, so yeah, either ask, or they'll be like, what do you think, or the mood board. So yeah.
I definitely agree with the image thing, because even if it's like, say, like not really what they're asking, and you have something, like I've heard stories where it's like the director heard it and was like, oh my gosh, wait, bam, like that was it, like not all the time, but I've heard stories like that.
Yeah, I've had a couple of people say that to me as well. They go, oh, we heard your audition, bam, oh, that is the character. That we didn't really know what we were looking for, but as soon as we heard you, I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. That means like that's great. That means I'm doing my job right. Yeah. I also, another thing is just also the character description. So like, oh, this is a very strong, tough, bellowing kind of commander like character, and she kind of doesn't ever show or express her feelings. So she's like kind of like a tsundere kind of, but yeah, so the character descriptions and everything, just as much as you can gather on the character will help.
Yeah, it does help. It just sucks for the ones that like literally. I'm sure this happened to you too, but like literally, you don't have like any information, like any.
Yeah.
And
It's happened before. Like, they
it,
just give me the lines and they have no character description or character picture. And I go, okay, not sure what to go off. So I kind of have to either go off the context of the lines, but sometimes even that's not enough. So I have to
right.
ask the people, yeah, but sometimes, like, do you have a sketch or something? They'll be like, yeah, sure. And it's harder than that, but it's more challenging, but you know, it's just more helpful. It helps us get the job done if we have more context about the characters.
100%, 150%. I agree with you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about voice acting?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like I really get to be free, and I get to act as crazy or as vulnerable as I want in here, and no one will judge me. Because you know, it's I don't know. Acting has been such a big part of my life. I started acting, just general acting, when I was 10. And that was to get me out of my shell, and I was very, very nervous and shy back then. I still kind of am, but I don't know. It's voice acting's like, I don't know. It's just kind of something that's just really grown with me. It's been with me for as long as I can remember, and I don't know. Just being able to pretend to be someone else for a change after, so you're not always living your same daily boring life, like
Yeah.
if you want a bit of a change, or you're like, I never get to act like a crazy insane person like I wouldn't in real life, but this allows me to really go far and push myself to my limits and try and like really go crazy and really let out stuff. It's a way of like letting off steam as well, like especially if you've got some stuff on your shoulders, or yeah, it's a really way of expressing yourself, definitely. So this is my way of expressing myself. Like artists, people draw the way they feel, or people sing
Yeah.
the way they feel, but yeah, I guess that's my way of doing it.
I started acting the same way as you, with in person, like theater and commercials and like stuff like that, and like literally
Yeah,
same thing to get me like out of my shell too. And
yeah, I'm also shy and I can't remember shit, so I was like, oh, voice acting.
yeah, and it's just super funny. Like I wanted to do it and everything for a long time, but life gets in the way. Lots of other stuff came up, and it was never something that I wanted to like give up per se, but also like acting also like then paparazzi's super involved with that, and then it's like like, not that I'm not saying it's not with like voice acting, but also it's super different because your face is there, so it's like your face
Yeah.
is always
I
seen.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like just one of those things that's like, when you look at voice acting, it's like you get to do acting, which like is something that is so loved and adored, and then it's like, but then it's like even more intense because you gotta be believable, and you gotta make like these emotions that like nobody's looking at you doing, but like you gotta make them sound like they're exactly happening, and it's like,
Yeah, 100%, exactly. Yeah, and I guess I, I'm more comfortable in the booth because, especially with like on-screen stuff, I'm very like, I just look at the way that I move and the way that my face moves and stuff, just the way that I am, and I go, ugh, like I don't vibe with it. I don't like it. But then when I'm in the booth, no one's gonna be looking at me. They're gonna be hearing at me.
right,
So focusing on that, that's just and focusing on the acting itself, not worrying about how I'm looking, which is great, unless it's um, like motion facial capture, but even then that's still a bit different. Yeah, I don't know. I like the kind of anonymity of voice acting. Like, I can just come in
yeah,
here and it's like behind a mic, and they go, "Oh, you've got the face for screen acting," but it's like, but I don't really want to. And like, I mean, I do. It's great and fun, but yeah, there's some things that are just, I don't know. This definitely took my heart more than, yeah, dare I say, more than regular like screen and theater acting. I mean, I love those kind of mediums, but I don't know, this one just, it's great. Like, I get to, like, physically embody something, but no one will see that, but they will hear it.
Yeah, and playing an animated character, or like, I mean any character, it's just like it's such a strong thing because animation is just or anime, any form of it, any medium, it's just such a big part of people's lives, their childhoods or like adult or like any stage. But like there's usually like a character like they'll bring up that's like super important to them, and it's like amazing that like like your voice could be the like that character for somebody, and like it's just like a really strong like feeling because it's like your voice is that powerful that it's like you don't have to like show your face. It's like
Yeah,
your
you can be
voice
the
is that
voice of someone's
powerful.
childhood, and like I know some people,
Exactly.
it can be the same with faces, but like the I don't know. I feel you can camouflage your voice, but not your face as much.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And I also find it unique when like you do one character and it sounds so different from another one, and they like love both and they never knew, and it's like it's really
Yeah,
like
like
cool
yeah,
stuff.
it's like crazy. Like I didn't know this person voiced this person voiced these two characters. I thought there were two different voice actors. But then if you bring that like to actual actors, you're like, oh, I can tell, like because
Right, yeah.
a wig or something like that. But like I don't know. I like that. Like people get confused about some stuff that I voice, and they go, "What? You were this and this?" Like I don't understand how they can happen, but
Yeah, some of the stuff you were telling me last time, I was like, wait, what? And it was getting pretty cool. Like you voiced some pretty versatile characters. Who are like your like top top characters you've voiced so far? Like favorite or fun or I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like you know the best fit for your voice so far. How about that?
okay.
And you can name a few. I'm not gonna like make you pick one baby.
Damn, that's so tricky. There's so many characters that I love. I just love voicing, and there's even they have the one character that I've voiced fairly recently in a game called Card and Shell. Or Card and Seal. I got to voice this very shoujo anime protagonist kind of character called Yuto Hino. And he's very like, go flame for it! Like, I'm gonna like power up and go mech and stuff like that. So he's very like, ah! And,
Oh, I love that.
yeah, so he's great. That's my first character like that to voice, and so I love that. Sin's great because she's very different. She's Sin's also very like mischievous, kind of antagonistic creature kind of
Broken.
vibes. I don't know. I think my top roles, yeah, Sin, Yuto. I did Radma in Crush Crush. She's just very like, you drop and give me 20 or something like that. Like she's very
Militant.
very powerful. She's a very powerful woman. And she's a red panda woman at that. So, Aya from I Just Want to Be Single. She's they're very timid, and they're like, oh, I don't want to date all these girls. They're fucking scare me and shit like that. Like, you know.
I love that.
So, yeah. There's other characters as well. Or Elisa, which is a mascot that I voiced for my friend's Twitch page, Michael McChill. So she's just this little, purple-haired, little annoying little thing. She's not annoying, but like I kind of bring that to the table, just while doing Elisa. There's other characters that I want to talk about so bad, but yeah. But, yeah.
Well, if you want to bring any up later on, feel free. What would be your dream role as like a guest star on like one of the big animations or animes that's like out? What would be like, oh, I wish I could do The Simpsons or like I would, something like that.
I'd probably say Adventure Time, because that's always been one of my favorite shows growing up, and people tell me when I was 13, why do you watch that show? It's for kids. It's like, my brother in Christ, we are children. It's like, I like they're like, oh, it's weird and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's great. Like, I love Adventure Time. My partner loves Adventure Time. Like, I think that's one of the first things that, we even did together was watch Adventure Time again. I don't
I
know.
love
It's
that.
such a charming show, and I love all the characters about it and the way it's done and the story writing and yeah, I'd definitely say being a guest on or voicing a character in an Adventure Time in the world, that would be like great. I love that universe.
Well, you heard it's coming back, right?
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, when I think I did. I know that they've done the Distant Lands ones, and they did the Fiona and Cake specials. I'm not sure if they're doing more. Not too sure, but
If I'm correct, I think they're doing a movie, and
right, yeah, that'd be like, and regular shows getting a movie too. I was like, yeah.
yeah, and also they're both getting another show. I think Adventure Time is doing like a preschool thing because it's with CBO or Obi. Wait, I'm saying his name wrong. The
Oh,
little
okay, yeah. So I think that's after Finn and Jake. So after the big finale, I didn't watch it because my brother was watching it at the time, and I was sobbing because I heard Adventure Time had ended, and I was the most upset I could ever be in my life over a show ending. I don't know, like he
But
was
it
just
meant
watching.
a
I was
lot
like,
to you.
yeah, it's like I didn't even watch the ending. I still have not caught up to the show because I feel like if I watch it all, there's gonna be none left, and so I'm like,
Have you watched Fiona and Cake?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay, yeah, then don't watch that if you haven't seen the ending because like it's gonna
I
like
know, yeah, but
yeah.
stuff's been spoiled for me, and like, I
Oh
don't, yeah,
man.
but
Isn't that a
that's just what
shame?
happens if you're on the internet.
It's so
You just get
true.
spoiled.
Especially for you, I couldn't imagine. I'm sure it's like literally like when you first wake up, it's like, yeah, no, here's the ending.
Yeah, they go, okay, nice. Yeah.
Who is your favorite character to have a scene with and why? In Murder Drones.
Oh, man, that is a good question. I think I'm a sucker for more comedic scenes, very, very comedic scenes. So I think if like Sin were to talk to like Thad or Lizzie or something, that'd be really funny. Like the improv that I did with Caitlin about the cargo shorts because nothing else that really came to my mind. So yeah, that or something like sinister with Uzi, kind of like
I love those scenes.
yeah, or just I always love like the brotherly sisterly kind of interaction between Anne and Sin. So yeah, in a way, like yeah, Sin, like yeah, he's only known Sin as Sin, and Solver's only known Anne as the big brother. So I guess in a way that like yeah, yeah.
Do you think Solver do you think like from playing it and everything, do you think the Solver like actually like cares for like anything or it's just like it's game over? Like done deal. Because it seems like there's like a little something for N, but then obviously there's not because N's like almost out for dead. And it's like, so it's like one of those things that's kind of interesting to think about. Or do you think maybe that's Sin in them? I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts?
That's hard. It's tricky to think about.
Yeah, I know. And it's first thing when you woke up too. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm awake. I like to think that I'd like to think that she does care about people that in her past especially, and like, oh, she's like, oh, don't worry, like I care about you, Anne, but I can always replace you if you decide to disobey me. So I like to think that yeah, she does care about people, but probably realistically she doesn't. I think realistically that the Solver just does not care about anything except the raw power she could hold or it could hold, and the destruction of the planet and the universe. And I don't really know. She's just like, I don't like humans.
I don't like humans or drones or anything, really.
Yeah, yeah, that's
I can respect that.
yeah. I don't know, I'm not really sure.
I mean, I guess I would have to hopefully maybe the solver would like me as a human. Maybe. Just kidding. That wouldn't happen.
Hopefully. But it's nice to think like, oh, maybe I'd be an exception. Like, huh? Oh, you're so cool. Maybe I do like one human after all. Just kidding. And then, yeah, like, yeah. I love the Solver's humor as well.
Yeah, me too.
The humor is great.
Me too. How was like doing the progression of the voice? Because you do a really good job with that. If you like, you're kind of more high pitched when we first meet Sin, and as the solvers mutate in the body more, and like body drone whatever. Sin.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. As it continues, you're more deeper and sinister. It's still the voice. Don't get me wrong, but there's totally a change, and I love it. But how was doing that? Like, was it weird, or was it kind of like?
Honestly, I didn't know that they were going to change my voice because I didn't actually. I've been doing this I think in the beginning the same voice pretty much, except I know when it was like Sin, they did pitch it up a little bit. Probably because I do have a bit of like a lower register. Yeah, I think when Sin's there, it's a little bit higher, and then when it's, the solver or like, the real creature, I think it is a bit, lower. I think just overall as the series progressed, yes, she is, she does sound a bit more different. She sounds more and more less innocent, and more like bloodthirsty, in a way, kind of like, kind of like, haha, yeah, I fooled you, now I'm going to start showing my real colors. So, still the glitching and stuff like that in the voice, but I don't think they've been pitching it up as much, so now it's kind of just been just me.
Interesting. So it's probably kind of got easier. Actually, it sounds like not like kind of like more you. So it's like, all right, yeah, I can get in the flow of this pretty like easy, like.
Kind of. I mean, I feel like nothing's really changed with the way that I do the voice, but I also feel like it has, if that makes sense. It's tricky to pinpoint.
It does, because it's the same voice, and it's not that much off, but it's off enough that it's like.
That there's been a change.
Yeah, and I totally get what you're saying. Do you sometimes does it sometimes like psych you up, like you'll be in there and like it'll be like you're doing higher pitch and it's like, oh wait, like not this time, like I'm doing like solver.
Sometimes, well, usually when the takes I do a couple of different pitches or something that just sounds really uncanny, like a robot trying to sound like a human. So some takes can sound really high. It just depends on what they're thinking for the scene and what they end up choosing. So it's I just give them a variety of what they need.
Yeah.
It's,
it probably makes sense too, because the glitchy voice.
Yeah, it's like it would sound weird if I were to like, oh hi, or like that'd be kind of that's I just know that Tom Kenny does that for SpongeBob, the laugh, like that. So I was like, oh yeah, I never thought about doing that for Sin, but I think it sounds too fleshy in a way, like, without sounding gross. Like, but like she's gonna sound glitchy, but not in that kind of way.
No, yeah, I guess not in the animated way, because SpongeBob is a very animated voice, especially that laugh. Not that Sin's not, but like it's very like, and I love it.
So good.
It's pretty iconic.
Yes, definitely.
Weirdest. Okay, speaking of like weird, what's the weirdest thing you've had to do with voice acting? Like whether it was gargling water or pretending to like smoke using a pencil or whatever was the weirdest thing to make you do something.
like I have been asked to do some pretty weird stuff, but I've enjoyed, most of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one thing that's really hard to do, especially in the booth, is like sound like you're being shaken like by somebody else. So I think I had to have my brother or someone come into the booth and shake me while I was like recording a line for something. I don't know. So to make it sound like I was being shaken, because you can kind of go like, oh yeah, I'm being like shaken, but like when you actually like more physically, it really shows up. So I think that's a pretty weird thing, but it makes it more realistic. Or like you can't like if like I think I saw a clip of Tom Hiddleston voicing a character in this stop motion film, and in the scene he was getting massaged, so one of the directors or cast members had to give him a massage on the back to kind of give that kind of breaking in the voice that you can't do like yourself. So I think those are some weird things, but they make it very believable, and I think, I don't know, it's fun, adds a little bit of realism. But I think weird stuff I probably had to do is barking. One of my first gigs I got when I first started voice acting, they brought me into a studio and they were like, oh yeah, that's great, we don't have a whole lot of voice actors for all of this stuff, can you bark by any chance? And I was like, woof? And they were like, okay, good enough. But then, yeah, they were like, okay, we need you to voice this dog. So I ended up just doing like barks, and I guess I was good enough for it. That they were like, great, we'll keep it in the end product. So there was that. And I have had to bark in other projects, but in other times it's been more like a character pretending to do a dog bark, not like an actual dog barking, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. And thinking of that, like, how many times did you have to do takes of like the bark, instead of them like, I'm not saying they should reuse it, but at the same time, how many times did you have to do that? Like,
I think in the beginning, at the first gig when I had to bark, I think it took, it didn't take too many takes, but I think maybe like 2 to 4, maybe, to kind of like, because the dog was like a yappy kind of dog, like a yap yap
right.
kind of, but.
Oh, I hope I can uncover that one day. I'd love to hear that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, I probably have the footage somewhere, but it's from a long time ago. But for this other one, I actually, when I had to bark as this character, doing a bark because, I was like, wait a second, I want to perfect this. I want to do more takes, so I wanted to get a take that I was satisfied with the way that I sounded as me voicing this character who is barking. So I was like, it's okay, I will send you a couple of takes that I'm really happy with, and you can use those for the barks. And they were like, okay, we're fine with the ones that you did, but if you're not happy with it, then to your heart's content, bark as much as you want. And I was like, cool, great.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't stop recording until my director's happy. So, like, please let me know you're absolutely happy, because I'll keep going.
Yeah, no, I do that. Or even after, like, they send me, like, a sample of, like, what's happened in the scene. I go, or they ask me for redos, and something happens to be included in the scene. I go, oh, do you mind if I redo that line real quick too? And they go, yeah, sure. And a bark happened to be in the specific scene for something. So I was like, yeah, that's funny.
It's always better to like offer like more takes just in case, like, so you don't have to go back, or like you just said, like, even if you think of something on the spot. Because have you ever like thought of like something and it's like you haven't put it in, and then it's like, I'll come back to that, and then you can't think of that voice later? Has that ever happened to you?
It has, yeah, but that's why usually at the beginning of. Do you mean like trying like recording for a character and then stopping, coming back later, and forgetting the voice? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like whether it's like a new character that you're auditioning for, or whether it's like a new voice that you're trying to do. Do you ever like or maybe was that something you did? Like, did that ever happen to you where, like, it was like, okay, I have the voice in mind, let me, like, grab water or something. You walk away, and then it's like you come back, and it's like, and I don't know how to do it now. It doesn't sound like that. Like,
It happens. But usually, what I like to do is as soon as I record it, I do kind of like a couple of vocal tests, kind of what seemingly fits best, or with projects, and then if we are to come back later or to make sure that the voice stays consistent, we will go back and listen to the first one recorded.
right.
So yeah, that's always something that's just to make sure our voice is consistent, and make sure there's no changes, and make sure that you still sound and act like the character. So yeah, definitely listening back to it is probably the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and you recommend with headphones too, right?
I definitely I'm a headphone user. I love my headphones. Yeah, I don't know. It's
I feel like you can hear. I feel like you can hear more. Like, you can hear like more like with the background and like not significant, but at the same time it's like, at least for me, maybe I'm just like kind of deaf, I don't know. But like I can I can hear more of like if there's a little bit of ambiance in the background, or like if there's like some, like I can hear something if it's like a little bit like, I can hear it better. I should say, like, everything sounds more clearer through headphones and everything. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I just.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I just prefer to keep the headphones on just because, I don't know. I like sometimes having one can off and then one can on, but like I can't do it like with this because I don't know how the mic is picking me up and how it's sounding. So I usually just
Right.
like this, but I do that if I need to hear my true voice and the mic at the same time. But just because I usually just do both cans because I'm pretty used to how I sound in the mic, just because it's always I've got the live monitoring, so I can hear myself through it. So yeah.
And plus, like, at this point, honestly, like, they're part of like your work uniform,
Yeah.
Like, they're securing.
Yeah, they are. It's just like I mean, I'm wearing my headphones 24/7, almost 24/7 anyway. I mean, if I had a dent in my head, I wouldn't be surprised. I did with these other gaming headphones that I wore, the ones that Tyler One had. They were like a Logitech ones, and when I took them off, I was like, my head feels kind of weird. And then lo and behold, there was like a tiny little like dent in my head.
No.
Yeah, no, it's it's happened with the streamer who uses the same headphones, and it's like a meme. But I don't know. I stopped using those headphones, and ever since it's just because they had like a really big thing of cushion right here, so it really pressed down in a certain area.
But wouldn't you think? I mean, was it heavy? Like, wouldn't you think the cushion is gonna do the the opposite? Like, that's crazy.
I don't know. It's just the way that it was made, and I used that headset for like years.
Did it hurt?
Kind of, yeah. The headset did kind of hurt.
Wait, what? Because those are popular too. I haven't heard of this.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just my hair that did it, but then the streamer that wears his like classic signature headphones, like he's bald, and you can see the kind of dent in his head. Like it's not.
Oh damn.
Yeah, it's not super like people have edited it to make it look like he's got like a cat.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
That's kind of like bad advertisement too, because it's like, guys, like, buy my headphones, and then like takes them off, and it's like dent, and it's like, oh, like, do I want to?
I'll have to send you an image. The dude's name is. Oh, wait, hang on. I'll do it. Tyler One. Headphones.
Headphones.
Yeah, I don't know where it is. I'm trying to find a gif of it.
Those are the best.
Edited. But there's some of them that are just not actually that edited. I'm trying to find the video of it. Oh, I think this is it. Hang on.
Dang, that's crazy. I wonder if that causes brain damage.
What?
Like for that amount of time, not for like a short amount of time. Like as soon as like you notice it, I'm sure like you take it off is fine. But like I wonder if it's like you're using it for years and years and years. Just keeps sinking and sinking
Yeah.
and sinking.
I mean, yeah. I was using it for years, but I mean, he eventually stopped using it. But I don't know. I'm trying to find like an. Okay, I think this is an unedited image, but I don't know. But that was. I don't know. He's yeah.
Oh, whoa, are you what? Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a bit. Mine wasn't that excessive, but it was just like a little.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I
But
hope he's gone to
I've
the
got it back now.
doctor.
Yeah.
Dang. Wow, I was not expecting that. I was not. I was kind of just expecting like a little like boop, boop, boop. But
Yeah, it's
wow,
yeah.
I hope he's okay. Peace and love.
He's fine. He's good. I don't know
Um
why I bought these.
oh, they were so cool though. Like when we talked the other day you had them on. They're so cool.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just like they're meant to be like lights for when the guys that direct the plane landings at airports.
Wait, what?
Like
That's so cool.
they were selling them at Bunnings, and I was like, they kind of look like the cheering sticks that people use at Hatsune Miku concerts. So I was like, I'll get them.
I
So
love that.
yeah, there was one that's orange and then one that's green. So I was like, great.
Oh,
Grab
that's
'em up.
so funny. That is not at all what I thought, and that's the best story. That's so funny.
I was like, oh, I'll get it. I'm not bad or irresponsible with money, but lighting.
Yeah, no, like
At least
that.
me.
That's totally needed. No, I'm kidding. I'm too
Yeah,
kidding.
really.
You need fun lighting, especially in your studio, cause it gets
I mean,
dark.
the lighting they do have, these are like LED strips that are RGB, but they were hooked up to my phone, and then the phone unsynced with it, so now it's just permanently white. It's
Ah,
kind of hard to see other colors, but I've also got this guy, just kind of there. He's just
just get it.
yeah, he's just hiding up there, but I usually don't have him on as much because it doesn't really light much. But anyways,
He's cute though.
he is, yeah.
How do you deal with burnout if you ever feel it? Which do you?
Yes, burnout. I definitely feel burnout. Definitely a good idea to take breaks when necessary. I like to take a step back, see when the deadline is, just kind of chill, relax, to have some me time, play some games, just, kind of chill as much as you're able to while keeping the deadline in mind, and then going, okay, yeah, I'll do that, and then, okay, cool, I'll go back when I'm ready, or, usually that's all it takes, or just, take a nap or something. I don't know, I usually just,
Do you like naps? Are you a nap person?
100%, I love sleeping.
Really? Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
despise it. I despise it.
Oh, yeah. No, recently, people, I'm really like I'm a very long sleeper. Like, I will definitely go like 12 to 14 hours is like my go-to. Like, I don't know, I sleep a lot. So yeah, I don't know, that's why like I like the alarms today just couldn't wake me up. I was like, I don't know, I went to bed at like a reasonable hour. Actually, not really, it was 2 a.m. But I'll be able to wake up, but sometimes I just
Yeah, you're just somebody who needs their sleep. I mean, I used to be the same way. I have no idea what happened. Honestly, I think it's like the fact that like my worth ethic like got better and like with just the fact because like when I got into voice acting and everything, I just like really have just been really. This is the first time that I've really honestly put like everything out there and like really 100% like is like okay, I'm gonna try everything I can, So it's like one of those things. So ever since then, but like other than that, like I used to be like a big sleeper, and then it's kind of changed and kind of. I'm not saying it's a good thing either, because it's like you need your sleep and everything, and trust me, like it gets tiring.
yeah. Also, just I don't know. Being a gamer, time zones, having friends in America and whatnot, and then also traveling to the States and whatnot, and I don't know, just not having a schedule sometimes. It's just like, and then, I also don't drink coffee or caffeine, so, I mean, when I do, I like to drink, like, iced coffee just because of the taste of it.
Okay.
But then if I'm like, oh, this is so yummy, and then I can't fall asleep, but I'd still be tired.
Oh, so it actually works on you, though. The caffeine will actually keep you up?
I'm not sure. It's like I'm exhausted and I want to go to sleep, but it works on me, but it doesn't.
Okay.
It's so weird.
It's like you don't have the energy, but you're awake.
Yeah, it's like I'm ready to go to sleep, but I will have insomnia.
Insomnia sucks.
I don't know what the fuck's...
Coffee doesn't really work on me either. Like, everybody is so, like, addicted to it. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I do love coffee. But at the same time, it's not because of its benefits, really. Because, like, I could drink, like, 4 cups, and you would think I would be off the wall. No.
Yeah, same with my partner. Like, he and I have, extreme ADHD, and he will have, like, a coffee right before bed and be like...
Yeah, literally.
Multiple coffees. Yeah, it'll just, like...
And not even decaf, like, fully caffeinated. I could have, like, a cold brew. And it's, like, knockout.
Yeah, literally would have a cold brew and be like, alright, I'm going to bed.
Exactly.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's serious. Like, I don't really get it. It's like, I've seen it work on people. I know it is a thing. It's not just made up in my mind that I've heard it. But, bless you.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Actually, have you ever had to make, like, a character sneeze or, because I know the other weird things you were telling me about, but, like, have you ever had to do, like, a noise like that's, like, really hard to, like, create? Like, it would have to be real, so you had to do something, like, I know I'm not asking, I just thought of this on the spot. I didn't write this one down.
For me, I think I'm actually fairly good at fake sneezing.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I can do it for you if you like.
I'd love to hear the fake sneeze.
Something like that. But
oh, whoa, that was really good.
I think I was a bit more dramatic than what I thought it would be, like or something. I don't know. Like, I'm okay at it, like, when I'm in the... I don't know, yeah. Sometimes, but yeah. Usually I would, like, if I'm, like... Usually I sneeze, like, 4 to 5 times in the same thing, but it's been weird that I've only sneezed, like, once while in here. So those haven't been fake. So, but I'm just...
That's so funny. 4 to 5 times. You must, like, lose your breath, like, after the 3rd time.
A little bit. That's why okay, I'm good. Yeah.
Good to pass out. Glitch is in Australia, and you live in Australia.
Yes.
Have you been to the studio? And have you guys ever recorded at the studio? I know usually it's at home, but has it ever happened?
No, I have not visited Glitch. I've been meaning to, but I haven't gotten around to it. I don't know if they have their own recording studios there. And I've never gone in to record, obviously.
Right.
So everything, as far as I know, everyone who works with Glitch works remotely in their own, booths and whatnot from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, with, like, where they're at, like, if it's working like that, why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do have to have, like, a certain quality threshold, but a lot of, like, for the amount of the actors that they're bringing in, professionals, and they really have the quality equipment and stuff like that, so it's fine.
Yeah, you guys definitely put in the work for it. You can hear it. What's your favorite episode of Murder Drones that you got to do, or your favorite episode in general?
I think
so far, I should say, because nothing's done.
Favorite episodes, I definitely 4 and 7, I think.
Oh my gosh! Okay, love those.
Yeah, when she was introduced, and then 7 when she kind of just goes like, "I got a new look. What do you think?"
Yes.
I skinned Tessa. Lol. Yeah. So.
those are like my actual too, so that's so funny. They're both like they're so great. The story's already like horror and like deep and dark and stuff, but like those episodes are like the pit. Like it's just like ooh.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, yeah, like if you were to like say, oh, to get to know your character the best, what episodes would you watch? 2 and 7. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Okay.
At least they've been the biggest episodes for me.
What was your favorite scene to voice as Sin or the Absolute Solver? Like what were you doing or saying or what was happening in the scene? Do you remember or?
I think some of the I know like some of the lines and that she says. I always love the super comedic lines or like really strange line she says, like, oh, climbing crisscross applesauce. Like, it doesn't make sense, like there's no applesauce, but she's just a little goober. She just say that.
She's a little goober.
And with I don't know, or I don't know, I definitely like the scene where she definitely takes off Tessa's or puts on Tessa's head back on and then unzips the suit and reveals that, haha, psych, I've been Tessa since possibly episode 2. I don't know if that's confirmed, but I mean, it's, I'm assuming, maybe, but.
Yeah, because when did the.
Because the gala happened, but we don't know what happened since then, because she goes, you didn't have to see this, and then all this stuff goes on, and so I think it's implied that she did kill her then and there. I've got no idea, it's not confirmed.
That's what I was thinking too, because I like rewatched it when like it was like, oh yeah, this is Tessa 100%, and I was like rewatching it and I assumed that was like Tessa's final like moments, but at the same time, yeah, it isn't, so like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I know that Sin has been Tessa since episode, forgot what episode it is, but there's a shot where she's sitting at the desk like this at the computer, and I was like, that's not a coincidence, is it? And they were like, nope, that's not a coincidence. And I was like, oh, okay, because she's very like, the way that she is,
Yeah.
broken and whatnot. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
oh,
what send the shot comparison and then
definitely, dude, I'll put it up on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh.
And I always try to pay attention to that stuff, but you know what? Murder Drones has a lot of it, like a lot of cool stuff in the background.
A lot of, little things.
The animators will put the funniest stuff, like little like "help me, I'm animating" or like something like it's so funny.
Help me, it's like or subscription-based doors. Or like that, or like Or I did. It's funny because seeing stuff on Twitter and seeing people finally realize it, they're like, "How did we miss this?" And it's like a scene of Tessa going, this is something that this human can do that only humans can do, ha ha ha, and then it says access denied.
Yes!
So I'm like, oh, I completely forgot about that too. So, yeah, no, she's been in her for a while, I guess. She's been Tessa for a bit, so I guess.
That actually might be that actually sounds kind of fun, though, because, like, yeah, you do forget about it, but, like, you're kind of, like, with the fans being like, oh, yeah, like, wow.
Yeah, it's like that. Like, the fans point out stuff that I don't even realize. And
right.
I'm, like, a bit oblivious, and I'm a bit slow sometimes, but, yeah.
Well, also, it's so different from reading it off of a script to, like, really full-fledged seeing it. I mean, like, the thought process and, like, everything alone, not that you understand it, but it's played out so differently that it's, like...
Yeah, it's also hard for me to kind of envision because I have aphantasia. So when I'm kind of trying to visualize the scenes, I go, okay, I'm just reading words on a page, and I'm just kind of trying to imagine what it would be like in the final scene, but it's so hard. So I just have no choice but to wait for the episode to come out and then kind of, go, oh, yeah, okay.
Interesting. Yeah, that must make it, like, that must make it really hard, actually.
Yeah, it's like, this motherfucker can't even visualize an apple. It's like, no, I fucking can't. Leave me alone. It's like, I don't know. It's there's like a scale of it, but I think mine is, yeah. I just see my eyelids.
Hey, you know what? Like, everybody, like, has their thing. It's not good, bad, or indifferent. It's just part of you. But, like, it's really cool. That's actually kind of cool. Like, not cool, but it's very interesting that you have that. But, like, you come up with these so unique voices. Even though, yes, even though you are reading descriptions half the time, blah, blah, blah. It's actually very cool because usually people, that's one of the things they do is vision the character, even if they
That's why
don't.
the pictures help me so much.
Right. That's super
Because then I can actually,
interesting.
visualize it. Or it helps a lot of people because,
Yeah.
when you're trying to cast for a character, you try to, you listen to them first, and then you kind of, put the recording next to a picture of the character, and then if it fits, you go, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
That's exactly, like, that's...
Yeah, I feel like that's when you actually do know, because, like, when I've done the same thing, it's like when I have that face, it's like, that's your voice. But then
Yeah,
other
like, imagery is so
ones,
important.
yeah, 100%. 100%. What, do you have any, like, funny or, like, good stories to share about recording for Sin?
Oh, for Sin,
Or anybody else, but I
anybody else?
just figured I'd throw.
Don't exactly remember a whole lot. My memory's just dog shit as well. But I remember doing I forgot what project it was for, but, fun fact, I am also dyslexic, so I'm a dyslexic voice actor. So
Wow.
that's been really quite challenging.
Yeah.
And I was in a live recording session once, and I don't know what the line was, but I meshed up one line with another line and accidentally ended up saying, like, penis or something. And the director was like, oh, say that again? And I said the same thing. And they were like, okay, can you, it's like, oh, the line is this. And after they explained it, I was like, oh, I just meshed, like, two lines because there was, like, a P word starting on one page, and then there was, like, something and is on another line, and I was like, oh my god, that was so embarrassing. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm dyslexic as well. And they were like, no, that's fine, let's just move on. So I was like, that was so awkward. Like,
Yeah.
I gave that line with my full confidence, thinking I was reading it correctly, and then, like, it happens, but I think that was probably the worst case because, like, it had nothing. That was just like, oh, penis. I was like,
yeah, and so confident too. Yeah.
yeah. They were like, okay. Yeah, or, like, there are times where I definitely skip words, like, just, it's hard with dyslexia because you can't really improve it, but, yeah, you just see stuff, and I don't know, but, like, I definitely skip words from time to time, and then, mix up stuff, and people go, oh, can we redo this, just specifying that this is the line. I go, okay, gotcha, my fault, sorry, yeah, let's continue. But, I still make it work, I guess, but it's a little bit more of a challenge, so, I don't know, I like a bit of a challenge.
D's and B's are the hardest, like, with that? Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, especially because they're just,
Literally opposite.
like, flipped, or, like,
Yeah.
No, definitely, because you're like, oh, yeah, or especially when, I was learning Japanese, there's chi and sa, and they're just flipped.
You know
as well.
Japanese?
A little bit. I'm learning a bit of a bunch of different languages, but yeah, it's
That's
like,
amazing.
I'm a weeb. I'm a huge weeb. Yeah.
That's okay. I love it. Continue.
Yeah, no, it's a bunch of things, or just sometimes I will just, I don't know. It's, I feel like I've got very mild dyslexia, but also, like,
It's
I don't really let it affect me, but when it does, it's like, aha, oops, little slip up there, it's fine.
not at all, and I think it shows your talent because it's like you have like kind of what people would say like would be disadvantages, but like it doesn't sound like it is at all. It just sounds like you just keep going, and it's like It's pretty
I try, yeah.
encouraging, and like that's pretty cool because it's like it does sound challenging, and it does sound, but like that's very, it's awesome to hear like how far and like how much you like you work for it. Like that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah, and then with so many words on a page, especially long paragraphs, and you're like, okay, I really have to break this down because, yeah. And just
Does
something. Sorry.
Sorry. No, you go. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was gonna say, something with voice acting is that you have to learn how to cold read, which is just, you have to be given a script and you have to be able to read it, like, as is, like, and just perform it as soon as you get it.
Right.
So it's taken me years to kind of get to a level where I can do that. So I'm fairly confident in it now, but sometimes it will still get like a bit like jumbled up because of, yeah, especially if this.
If the script is longer, do you tend to mess up more because like there's more words that like probably like look similar or stuff like that, or is
Yeah,
it like,
so many characters and I go like
yeah,
and,
that makes
and
sense.
things start like crossing over and stuff, and you go, okay, what the fuck? Yeah, so usually then, especially with big lines, just to make it easier for myself as well, I just space them out. I love, like, spacing them out like one sentence at a time. Just make it nice and easy for myself.
That
So,
that makes sense. And then like that also probably gives you the time to like rethink about like actually do it properly instead of having to do a million takes because
yeah, 100%. Yeah, but sometimes if I can't edit it, I just have to go, okay, lock in.
yeah.
Or I'd just highlight it, because that just makes it easier to keep track of where I am, because, yeah, especially if you're reading, like, this big document, you have to kind of keep track where you are, and then you kind of go, okay, that word is that word, but it's not, and then this word, and...
Yeah, exactly. Do you highlight like before or as you go?
Before. I usually do before, so I go, okay, I'm about to do this line, do the line that's, and then the color helps a little bit, too.
Yeah, I changed the colors. Do you too?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I love that.
It's like, okay, so I'll do this, yeah.
I feel like the color helps. It like pops with your eyes, and it's like okay, like you put the color to either the emotion or like to whatever. But like I don't know, I find it fun, and also like
Yeah,
it just helps.
I like to highlight, stuff with, like, when I'm finished with the line, I like to like highlight it in green so I know I'm done. Like, okay, that's like bright green, I've done that line, so I don't have to look through it again and be like, oh wait, I've done this. Yeah.
Do you like doing improv? Is that something that you like to do, or is that more like oh man?
I do like doing improv. I'm just not that great at it. I don't think. I've definitely done improv classes and stuff like that, but it's fun if you really understand a character and if you're really given stuff about like a scene, or like, if people actually give you stuff to work off and bounce off of, it's a bit easier. But in other cases, it's a bit like, I don't know what to say, so cargo shorts.
Cargo shorts.
Yeah.
Totally
Yeah.
understandable. Yeah, and it can get awkward because you are like on the spot. So
Yeah, and you're thinking, and your brain doesn't work too fast.
no, that's totally understandable. Um, are there any other voice tips that you want to share that help you out, or that you learned, or anything that you would like to like share to everybody?
Hmm. That's really I say when you're messing up a line or something, just try the pencil thing, or also just take your time with it. Like, a lot of people think that with a tricky line or something, it's not speed, it's just hitting all of the like the T's and B's, and making sure you're hitting everything in the line. So it's not rushed unless it is ADR, which makes it a bit more difficult, but
Right.
the lines can always sort of be tweaked and changed a bit. But yeah, just don't rush stuff, I would say. Don't rush lines. Make sure you're breaking down scenes and the characters and stuff before you audition, and then stuff like that, and make sure that no two lines sound the same. So there's a couple of things, I guess, but I can't really think of anything else right now.
No, those were all great. Those were all great. Thank you. And when you say like no two lines sound the same, uh, I, how off would you say? Do you think like it should just have little variations? Do you think it should have big ones, or it just depends? It all depends.
I think it depends because sometimes even just a small change in inflection can do that. But if it's changing the lines in base of like say you have to be really vulnerable in this one and then you have to be sad in this one,
Right.
you need to. I mean, well, they're kind of somewhat similar, but say something more drastic, like or if you're sad in this one and like ecstatic in this one, yes, you will need to be able to make it sound hugely different.
Exactly.
Because, like like in people, like in life, you will have so many different moments, and you won't ever sound the same in like when you're happy and when you're sad, unless like that's just like how the character is, I guess, in some cases. But yeah, just try and make it sound as different because you want to show what you can do, and prove to them that, oh yeah, I can, that you can act, that you can do what's going on in the scene, and yeah, so show them, what you can do.
Do you think like I found it more like when I like let loose a bit and like like get more. Usually it's my third take, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna have just a bit more fun with it. Like, it just like, I'm just gonna, why not? Because I gave the two more serious ones. And usually it's that third take that, like.
Yeah, that can always be the case. Especially like when you more really try to have fun with it, I guess, and not take it as seriously. You can always be like, oh, okay, I actually like that a lot better than what I did with the other ones. So.
Have
Yeah,
you
and then
found
end up
that to
doing,
be like the same like thing with you, or like are you kind of like more? It's better when like you're focused on it.
I sort of a mix of both.
Then.
But usually what I do is I do like a first read through just as part of a warm up, and I'll still have it recorded just in case I do like some of the takes. But then after I'll like go back to a different line, then I'll come back to it, and then I'll kind of be more like in the character, and then I think that the takes will sound like drastically different from what I did before. So I go, okay, yes, these takes after definitely sound a lot better than than the warm-up ones. So yeah, or just letting loose. Yeah, letting loose, but also focusing at the same time. It's a hard thing to
Balance.
Yeah, definitely that's a word.
What's your favorite catchphrase of Sins?
Crisscross applesauce.
That is amazing.
Crisscross applesauce. Yeah, and ow, and angry. Just
Stab.
silly little lines like that.
Stab.
Yeah, just little lines.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
The flesh. What is it? The flesh demands invitation.
The flesh demands invitation.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite one. Like like the. She was just acting normal too in that scene too, and then like all of a sudden it's like the flesh demands invitation, and it's like, wait, huh? You okay there? Like that's what it was like. You a little off?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh my gosh, I love that. What's something your fans wouldn't know about you? If you want to share anything, of course, or you.
Double jointed? I don't.
Ooh, like everywhere, your hands, where you double jointed.
Everywhere. I went to get a test for a thing called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a hypermobility thing, and they were like, no, but you are very hypermobile, so I don't know if I can really like well, there's that thing that most people can do, but then I can pop out my shoulder.
Ooh, does it hurt?
Not really, but I can stretch this arm a lot further up here than I can with this arm. Like, this is the limit I can do with that one.
Interesting.
I don't know. My bones are very squishy, but that also kind of led me to having spinal surgery at age of 19, so.
Right, you were telling me about that. Right.
Yeah,
How long was the recovery for that? spinal
It
surgery.
was, I think, a little while, but I was meant to lie down for like 2 weeks for the recovery period. But I think 1 week after, I was starting to get bored and antsy. So I was like, okay, I'll help my mom dig a hole in the front yard. And that pushed my disc out again. So my disc is technically out again. And then for a while...
Oh no, you're still dealing with it?
It's much better now, though. So I can actually walk. Like, there was a period where I couldn't walk.
Oh my gosh.
Which was crazy. But let's just say the miracles of modern medicine is great. But yeah, no, surgery is kind of going to be like a last thing, but like for months beforehand, I was like, oh, we'll try physio, we'll try these spinal injections and stuff like that to see what would work, and nothing really worked, so I had to...
And those are so dangerous too. Only once in my life did I have to get a spinal tap. But man, anytime they do something with your back, it's like, oh, like, make sure you sign this, so, because if we misplace a needle, you could be paralyzed, ha ha ha. And it's like, it's really scary, because it's like, what if you move? What if, like, something hurts, and it's like, ow, or like, it's just so scary.
Yeah. I didn't have a spinal tap, but I've had 2 cortisone injections, where they have to...
Okay.
They're like kind of epidural size needles that they have to lay you down at a CAT scanner, and scan where it is, and then you can't move while they take you out, and then they put in the anesthetic, and then they do a thing. But I think both times the anesthetic didn't work.
Yeah.
And they have to inject this cortisone directly into the vein that the nerve that is being compressed by your spine,
and it hurts. I don't know about the spine, so I couldn't even imagine the spine. I've only had that once, but the spine, like, because you must feel it throughout your whole body at that point, right? Kinda?
Yeah, like, still, sometimes when I wake up, if I'm sleeping on my stomach, I wake up and my legs will be numb sometimes, because my spine will... Like, it's just something that I've grown to live with. Like, I'm probably not gonna get another surgery unless it gets really, really bad again, but
that's super smart of you too. That, like, spinal surgery is just so crazy, and like, that's something they still haven't perfected, and not saying that they would like do anything, but like, it's probably smarter the way you're doing it, as long as you're okay.
Yeah, no, I'm okay. I mean, I can walk now. I'm surprised that I didn't have to get a second surgery after the thing, because what happened, I don't know, I couldn't like stand up or like shower like for a long time or stuff like that, because when you're standing, the spine, the discs are the cushions of the spine, so no matter how you move. But I was always sitting like this and like gaming like that for like years, and that also probably pushed out my disc. But yeah, I just keep a good posture. I was gonna say, posture's good. Take care of yourself, and you'll be right.
That's incredible. I'm so glad you're doing so much better, and like you healed. That is honestly amazing, because you don't really hear that.
I can like move and stuff, and I just can't do extreme stuff like do like a marathon, or like maybe like fight a bear or something like that. I can do stuff.
All right. Well, if you can't fight a bear, it's not the worst thing, right?
I mean, I'll try it if something's if it worst comes to worst, then
as long as you have that drive.
It's about drive, to
power. What's your favorite what's your favorite thing about playing Sin? And then what's your least favorite?
My favorite thing about playing Sin is that I guess she doesn't really take much energy to voice, because except for when she does the crazy laughing and stuff like that. Yeah, which is good, because you kind of like preserve your energy, and I'm always perpetually tired. So I don't know, I love her humor. So just the way that, I don't know, the little nuances in her character and her voice that I get to bring to the table is just always so fun and just little like, it's like very melodic. But I guess that's also a bit of the downfall as well. Is I wish she was more of an emotional character, more of like more of a character that I could really play around with. By like, oh, like she never screams, she never cries, I guess, or stuff like that. Or she's a very interesting character, but I don't know. Every character has its good and its bad things, but
of course.
I think.
And not even if the bad's a bad, it's just like something that's like, oh, if you had to choose, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it just makes them unique, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's nothing bad. This keeps going out. I'm gonna replace that. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really a bad thing, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess that's probably what I'd have to say if I had to answer.
Did you think, I know you didn't know anything. I know Liam kept it all a secret, but did you have different thoughts that for what was going to happen to Sin? Did you have any ideas of your own, or was it like completely like you were like, all right, you know what? Not even going to think about it, kicking back, like gonna see how this story is?
I had no idea. But then when I...
And no guesses?
Yeah, not really. I came across and then I started reading the script for episode 8 and I was like, hold on, what the fuck is going on here? So then and then I was kind of reading it more and I was kind of like thinking, what is happening? I didn't know that she would be evil enough to do this. I thought she was just some silly guy who was going to be a little low-key antagonist. I didn't think she was going to be the destroyer of worlds, the killer of people, and the skinner of Tessa. So
the skinner of Tessa.
I was just So I guess I didn't really question it, but I was surprised, I guess. And then I was like, okay, yeah,
it's definitely a big surprise, I'm sure.
Yeah, very different to what I had first imagined. When I first saw the character, I was like, I didn't think she'd be capable of this, but she is. But it's somehow worse.
yeah, but you know, you jammed with it very well.
Thank you.
What is the most important thing you've learned in your life experience that you got to put towards voice acting?
I feel like every experience, no matter how good or how bad, can be used to put in a scene that requires similar experiences, or like if you do have like a panic attack in real life and you know for me they're always unforgettable and they're the worst part of my day, especially if a character is going through a really traumatic experience or a scene like that. Through method acting, you kind of take some experiences and memories that you've had of your own and kind of bring them out through the character, but kind of tweak it a little bit. And that always makes stuff a lot more believable. Yeah. And it really helps to kind of... It's really method acting, I guess, you know, really taking what you've experienced and, you know, really honing your craft with life experience. And then I guess that's
beautifully said too. Honestly, I like that because like acting's a lot of make believe, but it's also a lot of pulling it from truth.
Exactly. 100%. Right
on. Right on target.
Yeah.
What's the hardest voice out of the characters you have done that has been the hardest for you so far? Or maybe not the hardest, but the most challenging.
Probably a character that I'd really have to stay in either a really, really high register or a really, really low register for a while. Because there's such different areas of the voice. Like, it's either falsetto or, like, deep in the chest range. But, I mean, it's easier for me to do more chest stuff, but you kind of have to really focus on it, because you kind of have to drop your voice and then kind of bring out the more throatiness of it and go, oh yeah, but it's hard to kind of stay down there if you're not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm really not used to doing it a whole lot. Like, you know, I'm getting better at kind of playing male characters.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, being gender fluid and whatnot. It's pretty cool that I get to play with whatever gender. I can audition for any gender because you know.
It must be like really like an honor and like a really cool thing, because that's the whole point of like acting. You get to be all these different characters, so the fact that like it's like affirmative that you get that role, that must be like really amazing.
Yeah, it's cool, and also, well, it's just a thing that well, usually they cast like AFAB or you know, female presenting actors or people who are born, you know, as women, usually do get cast for like usually like younger male characters, like, you know, like Yuto Hino. He's a bit of, you know, he's like a 15-year-old kid,
Right.
or you know, babies and stuff like that, or like Timmy Turner, or you know, Smolder from, you know, they've all got, or Bart Simpson. They've all got female voice actors.
Right.
But it's cool to have roles like that, so you're getting into it. But then I've had the chance to audition for actual like adult men, which is
Right.
pretty cool. But I've still got to really try that. But I know I can do it, but it's just I really have to practice it more, I guess. So it's difficult, but that's difficult in that way. But then when it comes to really high stuff, I think it's probably like doing it safely. Really like a really, really, really high voice.
Like something all the way up here, and then you kind of have to make sure that you don't break the voice, and then you kind of do this, and now you have a...
But yeah, I don't know. It's even that I probably wouldn't use. But if I had to use something like that, you got to make sure that you're not, you know, at a risk for like nodes or damaging your voice or stuff like that. So I think those are probably the most challenging.
Have you ever come close to something like that? Like, have you ever, God forbid, like cough up blood, or like, you know, like something crazy? Thank goodness. Yeah, so nothing
No.
scary like that. Okay, that's good. You're taking care of your voice. That's very good to hear.
Yeah, no, definitely. If well, people have asked me, it's like, how do I, you know, do this voice and like without it feeling so uncomfortable? It's like the moment you feel anything even slightly uncomfortable, you should stop. And especially when it comes to doing like a difficult voice or something that's not really natural for you for a certain amount of time, or even if your normal voice, if you're talking for a certain amount of time, it can still hurt.
Right.
So you always have to give your voice a rest. It's a muscle. You have to warm it up. You have to take care of it. You have to rest it. You have to, you know, yeah, and then you can train it to, you know, grow your range. Like that's like, I haven't always had this range, I don't think, but I always try to stretch my voice so I can do high voices and low voices, but you always have to take it one step at a time. Just never go with like, oh, I can do this voice, but I have to really suffer the pain with it. Like that's never something
Right.
you should do.
Right.
Or like, yeah. So
That-
no, if you're coughing up blood, I suggest see a doctor, see someone who's a professional. Probably just shut up for the time being, and then
Don't voice act for a little bit. Not recommended.
yeah, just don't talk. Yeah.
What's the best way you rest your voice? I asked you how you warm it up. What's your best way, or tips and tricks that you rest it? Tea, taking the full day off and the next day. I don't know.
Yeah, I usually after like a really grueling session of a lot of like screaming or stuff like that, usually just shutting the fuck up does the trick. Vocal rest.
Yeah.
Having warm tea with honey and lemon, lots of water, or I like these little pastilles called Vocal Zone.
Wait, stop! I just got those. They're amazing. Yeah, I swear. Wait, hold up. Hold up. They really do. I'm not a liar. Hold on. Yeah. I love these things. This flavor too, right?
I got the black currant ones, but I've had.
I think
them
that's
for a while.
these.
Oh, I don't know. Mine came purple. I might have changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, and
All
I
right.
got the vocal zone tea, but yeah, that stuff helps great, especially if you've like done a performance and you need to keep going, and it will help that if your voice gets a bit raspy, you need to can have that and it will clear it up, and you're like, okay, bit of rest, then I'll go again. But yeah, water, those things work great. Tea, yeah, I'll just vocal rest, tea, water, vocal zones. I think even just any lozenge, because anything you can suck on can produce saliva and will eventually hydrate the throat more, I believe. I could be wrong, but that's what I've heard.
I like the feeling of these, or whatever's in it. I don't know. It doesn't tell you on the box.
I think it might have a bit of menthol in it as well, because it's kind of spicy.
Yeah, it's like that feeling. Like, I don't know how to explain
Yeah.
it either, but I like it too. Yeah, no, those things are like the coolest things. I was thinking about
And
lodgings.
pineapple juice. Pineapple juice is good for the throat.
Pineapple juice. Ooh, I
I
did
love me
not.
some pineapple juice. Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. That's good. Okay, you know what? Hey, if it's good for me and I like it, win-win.
Yes.
What do you think is more important, voice talent or voice training?
Voice training, I'd say. Talent can only get you so far. With skill, you can hone it and you can really work on it for years. Like when I first started, I was absolute dog shit, and if I stayed that way and I didn't have any classes and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't be where I am now. So yeah, again, people go, "Oh, you're so talented." Thank you, but most of it is skill and work. Like talent,
Right.
Talent, yeah, there's a difference, but like I'm not. Yeah, people go, "You're so talented." I just go, "Oh, thank you. Yeah, appreciate it." But yeah, it is, in my case, definitely skill, because I used to be so bad, so bad, and I'm still honing my skill, honing my craft. I'm still working on putting in the hours and learning things that I still wouldn't even know how to do or think of.
Well, that's amazing though, because that's what's gonna like improve you even more, and like it's just really it's impressive that you want to like grow even more and everything. I mean, I think that's what makes a good actor, you know?
Yeah, I always want to keep improving, and even I know some agencies even recommend that you keep taking classes and you keep learning, so you don't kind of lose that spark or kind of lose that thing. But I still take classes and I still do coaching any chance that I get. It's great because I always want to have more experience and get to know what things I can do. Like I really want to get into motion capture, which is a different medium of acting that it's really cool. It's they use it in a lot of video games to save like to make stuff. I'm not really sure why they do it, but it's instead of kind of having to animate everything, but it kind of goes hand in hand with theater and TV acting mixed in one with voice acting. So you need to kind of combine them both. You need to use like I did a course. I flew to Melbourne to do this amazing course with and actually got to wear a mocap suit, and they'd put all of the little I forgot.
Oh wait, is it that green thing with the white things?
The little white
Yeah, the dots? The
Yeah,
thingies?
that,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Those,
Yeah.
that's what that is. Okay, that's
so
cool.
So I've done a whole bunch. I've done a fair bit of training for that. So I think that was like a couple days. But yeah, you really have to be physically active for that. You really have to know how your body works and moves and stuff. You really have to physically get into it. So
Because you're full on doing the stunts, right?
yeah, usually
Yeah.
like Neil Newborn, who's a like I love him. He's like one of the best motion capture actors out there. He's played Astarion. He's he's been in the Planet of the Apes movies as like apes. He's been in what's that game? Just like he's been in so much stuff, and he's like like I've managed to get some advice from him, which is
That's
really great.
amazing.
Yeah, no, I definitely look up to him. And yeah, I don't know. It's something. It's so difficult, but really, really rewarding at the same time. I haven't done much of it, but I'd really like to do more of that stuff.
Yeah, no, that's super cool. That's so. I didn't even know that's exactly what they did. That's a new medium you just taught me about.
Yeah, no, it's so cool. It's so much fun.
Well, I'm crossing my fingers for you in that because I think you would be good with that. That sounds like fun, and that's so. Is every single actor who does that, they're the voice too, usually?
Usually, not
Interesting.
always. It's not always the case, I believe.
But
In
like it can
with,
be.
Yeah, with like AAA games, usually like Baldur's Gate, all of the actors, all of the voice actors play the characters physically as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, so all of the little animations and the stances and everything like that. So there's, yeah, it's crazy how much I actually have to learn and memorize. But I feel like I know a fair amount of, you know, skills and stuff from like just all aspects of acting. So I've got like books and books filled of just everything that I've learned, and just sometimes it doesn't make any sense, but then I go, oh, I remember this is what that is, and you have to remind yourself every now and then to keep things in there. But yeah, it's I just want to learn more stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure, and the more the merrier. I'm sure, like, you know, it's never a negative thing that you learned that piece of information. You know, I'm sure it's always like everything's great.
Knowledge is power, especially.
I agree with that 100%. If you could, okay, this is just a fun question, but if you could pick anyone to be your celebrity parents, who would your celebrity parents be? Like, if you could pick. Yeah, like as a fun throw out question, as just like a woohoo, let's make some fun stuff before ending this.
Damn, I don't know, actually. I don't think I'd want any other parents than my parents.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I didn't mean it like that. I meant it more as like, you know.
I know what you mean, but in a way, I guess they were kind of. Sometimes at one point, my mom's a singer-songwriter. She used to be.
Very
my dad
cool.
used to work at a record label and stuff like that. So, my family's very musical. But man, being a kid of someone, celebrity. Shit. Who do I think of?
And it's okay if nobody. I just figured it was like I just figured it was like a fun question. I was like, it's interesting. It is interesting to ask, I guess.
Yeah. I'd probably say maybe, I don't know, is there a really good voiceover couple that exists?
I love that. Well, I don't know, they're not alive anymore, but fun fact, did you know the original Mickey and Minnie Mouse were married?
Oh yeah, they were a couple. Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't think.
I don't know. I can't think of anyone at the top of my head.
It is a hard one. It is really putting you on the spot. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
And well, I pretty much picked your brain, I think, to the core on everything. Is there anything else you want to say or like give before, like, you know? You're like, Hannah, you asked me so much.
I guess, or actually, there's a quote that I have on my desk that helps me a lot. It's just something so simple from Tom Hiddleston. It's, you can do this if you want to. If you want to, yeah, that's it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so it's, if you really want to work hard at something, you can get there. You can do it. If you want to become a voice actor, you can do it. You can just start off acting, get a microphone, start auditioning, just, you know, learn and challenge yourself. You know, anyone can do anything if you really, you know, literally believe in yourself. So,
yeah.
And if you have the willpower and if you want to do it, you can do it. It's like, sure it might take a while. Like, I've been acting for almost 12 years, and I'm only starting to kind of get my stuff getting up now, but if you want to become a voice actor, you can do it. If you want to become a regular actor, you can do that too. I just don't have much experience in that field. But yeah, if you can do this if you want to.
That's amazing, and I totally agree. Sometimes you got to be like your number one cheerleader, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to, and that's not in a bad way. It's just who's going to believe in somebody who can't even believe in themselves. So it's a really good point.
And make stuff, be creative, be inspired, go crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, make stuff. Creativity is one of the best things in the world, and what better than to hone, and I've said that word so much today, than to really bring that out. It's just kind of, I don't know, just find something you want to do, do this stuff, the motivational speech.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. You can totally see the passion in your performances. It's amazing. It's one of the things that I like that what you do with your voice acting, and I'm excited to see what roles are coming out. I know you can't talk about them, but I'm excited to see what is coming out. I will be looking, and I hope we I hope we can do this again soon. And
Me too.
That would be amazing. I had a great time, and I can't wait to talk to you more.
I had a great time with you too. So I've like my face hurts from smiling. You're awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome.
Hopefully it works out this time. So I've got the
Yeah, again, I'm so sorry about that. I literally was gonna have a breakdown. I swear I updated Discord, and it's like, I think that's what did it, even though I thought I was saving myself because I was doing the update. But like,
Discord's always breaking for some reason. Sorry.
No, you're fine. It really is. It's always breaking. But I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate you wanting to do this with me. And I hope there's lots more times, and I can't wait to talk to you more and find out more about Allanah, not just the voice of Sin, like actual Allanah. Like,
yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah. I am different to my characters, but I bring them all to life, and they wouldn't exist without me.
Exactly. Yeah. No, thank you so much. This was amazing. I will talk to you soon, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. I hope you do too. I'll see you around, and take care of yourself.
All right, you too. Talk to you later.
Yeah. No.
See you later.